all my DIY artsy crafty friends and family. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name's Dee, the Messy Perfectionist, and on this channel I am sharing my love and learning journey for all things DIY artsy crafty related, with a large focus to date anyway on the beautiful and expansive world of adult coloring, which has been very new to me in many ways, but I have just really been enjoying the process and sharing all of that with you guys as I have been learning more and just kind of all of the beautiful artwork that's out there. And it's such a fun way to be creative for me anyway. So if you are new here and you've just stumbled upon this, the reason I started this channel, obviously I'm not a professional, it is a learning channel. I wanted to kind of show that it's okay to share your journey wherever you're at, whether you consider yourself a beginner or an expert. Sometimes I think we feel intimidated, I know I do, with showing my craft or my created projects, whatever they are, because I will compare myself to others. And I am working very hard at trying to not do that and just go at my own pace, because when we allow those creative juices to flow freely, that is when we're in the zone. And I believe that is when we have the most beneficial part of the creative process, when we allow ourselves to be in that space fully. So it's my hope that by sharing my own journey on this channel, that maybe I can inspire someone else out there who maybe has been intimidated to embark on something new, some creative new thing for them, and they will be courageous enough to allow themselves to be vulnerable in that space. So with that said, if there is something you see or hear on this channel, please do consider subscribing, hitting that little like button, the notification bell, sharing, commenting, all of that good stuff. I know I say this all the time, but it really does help a small YouTube channel grow. And I'm having so much fun creating content and sharing with you guys. It's been such an awesome journey, fun talking with all of you. I love that we can all have a dialogue together. And I appreciate you all so much for your support if you've been here for a minute with me and allowing me to share my own vulnerability and my experience with you. So with all that said, in today's video, we are going to be going through completed coloring pages in a minute here. I am so distracted by the ink mess that is in front of me on my mat, so I'm sorry if it's distracting to you as well. It's not dirty. I was recently swatching out my Uhuhu markers, trying to get them all in kind of a color order that made sense, since I did not buy large sets of my Uhuhu markers. I was buying them in smaller sets, and then of course they give you these little swatch cards, and I was like, I don't want to have 10 billion little swatch cards. I just want to have something in, one or two sheets, which wound up being a whole big large project on its own. Which, let me know if there's something you might be interested in seeing, because what I'm considering doing is putting that together, kind of finalizing it, and then also sharing it, offering it as a PDF through my website that you can download. I'm not sure if anybody else would care. But let me know, and I will kind of brainstorm about that a little bit and see what I can get for you guys. So just drop me a comment if that is something that sounds like you might be interested. If you have the Uhuhu alcohol markers and are trying to figure out how to organize them better, I can do a short video on that and we can talk about it more. But let's get started. I'm just going to go from top to bottom here and tell you a little bit about the page, what I used on them. Hopefully I can remember for everything. And yeah, we will go from there. So first up, we have a page. It looks like just one page from Hanna Karlzon's book, Tales from the Witch's Cottage. I think I did this in the beginning of September. I really had a lot of fun with this page. I think it came out beautiful. I wanted to do these in blues and greens. And when I started coloring the person here, I decided I was going to kind of just do this as a double page. I'm not sure if it's meant for a double page or not. I think it works well for that in creating kind of this nebula type galaxy-ish background. For the background, I did use my Caran d'Ache Neocolor 2 aquarels to complete this. I used Prismacolor Premier pencils to do all of the coloring on the wand and on the person here. I wasn't sure if this was supposed to be water or fire, but I just kind of did what I felt like doing, and I just wanted to do blues and greens. So I left details on the face pretty simple. I mean, I did do a little bit of, well, you can see I did gel pen embellishments kind of throughout for the stars and on the wand and a little bit here and in the hair. I did use my white gel pen to add some of the stars in the background, as well as some highlighting and embellishments on the person and the jewelry, things like that. And I put the most on the wand here just to give a little bit more definition. And I kind of just did what I felt like doing in the moment there. And this was kind of what I ended up with. And I really like the way this page came out. Like I said, I wasn't sure if I was looking at water or fire when I initially looked at this, but I knew I wanted to do this page in the teals and the purples and the magentas. They're kind of my favorite colors, and I just really wanted to challenge myself with sticking to just a few colors to make something feel bright and unique to me, I guess, rather than going with like traditional hair colors, if that makes sense. And wanted kind of these little, I don't know what they are, little wispy guys coming off of the hair to kind of be in that same color palette as well. So that's all we have out of Tales from the Witch's Cottage. I think I'm going to be working more in this book this month, since we are at the start of spooky season, my favorite time of year. Okay, guys, this is another page from Hanna Karlzon. This one's from Seasons. I am so hesitant to show you all this. So I did this page as a partial color along, and I think in that video I mentioned how I messed this page up, and so I'm really sad about what happened to this page, but I'm going to show it to you anyway, because like I said, on this channel we keep it real and we show the wins and fails, and not everything is hunky-dory and perfect and beautiful all the time, especially when you're starting out. So here is my page that got ruined from some water. I may go back into this page and try to work on it a little bit more and see how I can fix this up and salvage it a little bit. But for the moment, I just left it. I needed to, you know, sometimes you just need to leave things alone when you get frustrated with them, and come back to it later with new eyes and new perspective, and fix it up. I'm sure I can work at it a little bit more and bring her back to life and not have her be so muddy. So what happened was I did the color along for this witch, just the image of the page, Hanna Karlzon's image, and then I started filming to do the background, and I used my stamp inks and a stencil. I'll just show you. So I have a Cricut machine, and I created a few of my own stencils. So this was one that I created. I don't know if you guys can see it on there. I wish, if you guys have a Cricut and you know if there's a better way to create stencils rather than the actual stencil plastic that they seem to sell, let me know, because I really wish there was something more sturdy and more permanent, because I feel like I can only get a few uses out of these kind of stencils when I make them. But anyway, so this is what I did, and I used my stamp inks and a few different colors, and I really liked the way it started coming out. You can see what I was trying to go for here and create this little forest background. And then I wanted kind of that purple gray, foggy kind of look for the sky. and had my my drink here without a lid on it, and I went to grab it and it started to spill, so it splashed onto the ink, distorted the page, as you can see. And so I immediately, you know, grabbed a paper towel and started trying to clean it up, and was like destroying my page. So everything kind of got smeared. You can see the integrity of the page here is damaged. I think I can still color this side okay, but you can see from getting the water on it through there, it just kind of bled through a little bit. So yeah, I'm really sad because I loved this image and I really wanted to do something special with this page. Let me know if you guys have any ideas on how to approach kind of going back in and fixing this a little bit when you've had something like this happen. Definitely curious if you guys have any tips or suggestions for me to fix it. If you do and I try to go in and fix it, maybe I can do like a short on that or something. I just needed to walk away from it because I was just upset with it. I let it dry. I flagged it and was like, you know what, we'll come back to it later. And yeah, it's kind of a win-fail situation here. So I guess I could always try to recreate this again. I imagine I will be buying some of these books a second time if I can ever get through them all, which, you know, is a whole other challenge on its own when you have a lot of different books. And you know how it is with coloring, or I guess any other craft, you need to feel in the mood for what you're working on. So I like that I have, you know, more than 2 books by 2 creators to choose from, because I really need to feel into what I'm coloring. I can't just like pick up a random thing. Sometimes I'm into things like this, Rooms of Wonder, and sometimes I just don't want to even pick up this book at all. And so speaking of that, as you can see, I have done a page out of this book, Rooms of Wonder by Johanna Basford. So this was a page that I had started recording. I don't think I ever got around to editing and finishing that. And because I'm limited with space on my phone, I just kind of wound up dropping it because I feel like I didn't have any kind of plan for this page. But what I did do with this page was kind of create my own version of a background. All of these things were just, you know, the images on the page are there, and then I created kind of this background for like a carpet or a wood floor, and then a wall with the trim there to kind of create the image that you are, you know, looking at a full room with the shelves against the wall here. And there was just a lot of little things on this page, in the sewing room page, as you can see. This was one of those pages that when I looked at, I knew I wanted to go with the pinks and the greens, which is initially how my own craft area was sort of set up when I was just sewing. I had a lot of these kind of aqua colors and then the pinks, and it's changed a little bit now. I have like more of a variety of color in my little craft space, which is fine. But so I was trying to feel inspired from my first version of how I saw maybe my sewing room or craft room to be initially. So I went with that, and it took me a long time, and I think that's why I haven't done much out of this book. I realized there's so many little objects that I get bored sometimes with staying on a page too long when there's a lot of tiny little objects to color, especially for color along things like on film and such. It's fine for mindless coloring, I think, but when you're trying to do like when I'm trying to do filming for a color along, I feel like it's very tedious. And so I don't do a lot of filming for that. But I've seen so many other creators on YouTube just do beautiful things out of this book, so I need to work at it more. I just haven't been feeling the vibe lately. But like I've mentioned in other videos, I feel like I'm a little bit of a seasonal colorist, and this did not feel like autumn to me. This felt more like summer, hence doing it in August. So I will probably come back to this book more after the holidays. Right now, I'm very much feeling autumn and spooky season. And then I have some Christmas coloring that I know I want to have planned out later. I actually want to do a flip through of a Christmas coloring book. I bought this Christmas coloring book a while ago. I have yet to flip through it because I wanted to just keep my first impressions for my flip through like I like to do with you guys. So that's also something to look forward to if you're interested. Next up, I have another Johanna Basford page. This one is out of Enchanted Forest. Definitely my most favorite book of hers, but it was my first, so that might be why I am partial. This is the page I completed for September. I used my Black Widow pencils to do this page as well. I used a limited color palette. I really wanted to try my hand at doing contrasts. I definitely feel like I need more practice on this. I also wanted to create kind of the image feel of like a yin yang, but I think I could have done better with maybe creating the contrasts for like the yin yang symbol if that was what I was going for, but then I didn't kind of follow through with that. So I just kind of separated it there with kind of the day and the night, keeping the cooler colors here. And of course, like mushrooms always feel like nighttime moodiness to me. And then the flowers, you know, open and blooming feel like daytime to me. And so sunshine. So I wanted to keep the warm colors for those flowers there and just pull a little bit over here and kind of the reversing where there's the blues and the teals and then just a little bit of pulling there and then just a mix of the greens. Just I think I used like 3 or 4 different colors and used a kind of shimmer metallic pen just to kind of throw little splashes of dots everywhere. I felt like trying out. Not my most beloved piece, and when I look at it I think, oh, I could have did a lot more with this, but it was just something I was trying out. I definitely have a lot of room for improvement in working with contrast. I feel like I'm not quite comfortable or with grasping using contrast in a page in that way. I've seen so many amazing artists do such great coloring pages with using contrast, so I just need to practice more and not be afraid to try something new. A lot of times if there's something that I really love, which I'll be honest with you, this is not a image in this book that I was absolutely in love with. I think those are the best pages to experiment with, so that's what this was. I try to tend to do that with the pages that I absolutely are in love with. I want to do something that I can really bring out my creativity and where I feel very comfortable with, maybe just a little touch of something that's outside of my comfort zone. And the pages that I, are not totally in love with, those are great opportunities to practice with. So that's my take on that. So that's that one. We have a page out of Mythographic Magical Earth by Joseph Catimbang. Let's see. Try to flag all these with the washi tape. So this is one that I really loved this image of when I flipped through this book and have waited to work on this for a while. I really like the way this one came out. When I first saw this page, I knew I wanted to do this background in a dark blue or dark purple, and I wanted everything to feel very bright and as if things were glowing. And I feel like overall I achieved that. I did use my Ohuhu alcohol markers and then used the Indra colored pencils to go over. So I did use the mixed media for that. And then some of the gel pen, as you can see, for the highlights on the gems and the water and a little bit on the glowing mushrooms. I love these little guys. I think they came out so cute. See, I really like this page. There we go. So yeah, overall, I really am happy with the way this guy came out. You guys know I love using the marker and pencil combination, it's really becoming one of my favorite, and the mythographic books are really great for doing that. I still recommend that you put something behind your page, because as you can see, I did not do that with this and it did bleed through. So it doesn't always happen, but it can happen. So try to remember, if you're new to alcohol markers like I am, even in books with like this with great texture, they have a lot of tooth, they're pretty thick, it's still a good idea when you use alcohol marker to put something underneath, because it can bleed through. But yeah, so that's the one page I did out of here. I have recently been really into Kerby Rosanes pages lately. I have a few things coming up from him in some other books that I'm working on. So I thought I did more, but I guess that was for this month coming up that I've been working on. So this is a page that I completed out of Worlds Within Worlds. I cannot take credit at all for this color palette. I did a color along myself with, I think her name is Karen from my Colorful Country Life, I think is her channel. I will look it up and try to remember to insert it into here in text so you guys can see. If you're not familiar with her channel, she does a lot of color alongs with Kerby Rosanes, and they're beautiful. Her work is absolutely gorgeous, and she's definitely someone to learn from if you're wanting to improve your game. So anyway, I followed her color along to complete this double page. Mostly overall, I did a few things different. I cannot remember what I did for the background. I think, for the background I used my Neocolor 2 aquarels to do the background, and then Prismacolor Premier pencils in the same pencils that she used in her color along. Mostly I might have added a few more here and there, and then used white gel pen to go over the water and just help the whales stand out a little bit more here and there. But I think this page came out, or these pages came out beautiful. I love this, and I'm definitely going to want to be following more of her color alongs, because I felt much more comfortable with blending and trying some other things that I would not maybe think of, like the greens and the oranges is really just, I don't know why. It's not something that I would have just instantly thought of, and what a beautiful combination, right? It's just beautiful. So yeah, that's what inspired me to do this one. And we have one more page, and this one is out of Circle of Life. I haven't done anything out of Circle of Life in a long time, and so I was pretty inspired to do this one in light of spooky season. So this is the page that I did. I recently got the Brute Funner oily pencils, and I am kind of in love. They are a really good pencil that I wasn't sure of. I got the square barrel ones. They are just a delight to use, and so this was my first piece that I did with them after swatching, and I really like the way that they came out. So I really like the way my spiders came out. I used a little bit of white gel pen just to accent my tarantulas and my little moths here and there. But other than that, yes, just used all of the oily pencils to kind of create these purple, pinky, iridescent looking tarantulas, and I love the way they came out. I really do. I really like the way these guys came out. When I was first working on them, I made them a little too muddy, and so I actually went in with my eraser and removed a lot of, as much of the color as I could from these spiders, and then went back in to add a little bit more lighter pigment on them, and liked the final outcome. So yeah, this was my spooky season inspiration out of this book. And that is it. So that's what I did for the month of September. Let me know what you guys thought below. Thanks for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, you are amazing and so appreciated. Again, let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you thought of, if you have any ideas on how to fix that one page out of seasons that just, you know, got messed up. I would love to hear your thoughts on that or anything else. It's such fun having dialogue with all of you guys, but I appreciate all of you. Remember, until we speak again, to always take a little bit of time for yourself. Always be kind to yourself and others, and we will be seeing each other again soon. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye.